Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cindy Bassett, and it has been my pleasure to serve first as assistant principal and now as principal for this group, this class of 2022. To echo the words of Mr. Rickliffs, I'm so excited to be here today. We have a great graduation ceremony planned. We get to start out with a senior address from David Harper. David is the son of Brett and Stacy Harper. He'll be attending, oh, no, you're fine, you're fine. You're good. I'll give it up in a second, I promise. David will be attending Iowa State University next year. He'll be majoring in physics. All right, now I'll turn it over.
Welcome, students, faculty, family, esteemed guests. The class of 22. What a great thing this is. Great in the feeling of the accomplishment and finally being done with school, but also in the magnitude of this event in the story of each of our lives. You each made it, and you should be proud of your accomplishments. But if you're just happy it's over, then nobody's blaming you. I think it only right that I take a moment to thank everyone who made this day possible, starting with the families, the teachers, the bus drivers, the custodians, the cafeteria workers, and since I am listing everybody, even the administrators. Vicky V, are you out there? Well, I'm talking about him. For better or worse, all of us have graduated from this place now and are ready to move on for bigger and better things. But we'll never forget the long, arduous journey that brought us to this moment. On August 23rd, 2018, we fresh-faced and shiny-nosed freshmen entered those doors and had a steep learning curve. We know now that as freshmen, we were incredibly annoying. But I think it's just one of those steps we couldn't avoid. It's like a butterfly. You know, when going through that incredibly annoying and awkward chrysalis, you form the 1080p embarrassing memories that'll replay in your mind at the most unexpected of times, and I, for one, am here for that. And although we love to deny it, we did learn a lot at this institution. In only a few months, Mr. Metcalf taught us a thorough history of the entire universe. Mrs. Tenson showed us the exact point in which handwriting becomes completely illegible. And with the multi-genre project, Mrs. Shea showed us just how much can be accomplished the night before. Personally, Mr. Jacobson taught me that you can just not answer a single one of your emails. What will they do about it? What will they do? For real though, Jacobson did always end up getting back to me one way or another, and if it weren't for him, I don't know if I'd be graduating today. But we've lived through some textbook-worthy times, and I think you guys all know what I'm talking about. Among Us? No, okay, for real. Together we loved Old Town Road ironically, then unironically. We all thought Blinding Lights was way too overplayed. We parted our hair down the middle, and we danced the Gritty. We saw political moments of exceptional consequence, and a global pandemic rearranged the lives of every one of us, cutting our sophomore year short. The teachers didn't give up, however, and rose to the challenge every day, doing what it took for us to succeed. I think you'll agree with me when I say that it took a lot of personal courage to not open a single one of the assignments they sent home at the end of the sophomore year. Difficult times, difficult times. But together we made it through, and clearly Gilbert is just getting bigger. I can see myself now finally being pulled over for my awful driving by Officer Nicholas Sutton. Or maybe, taking a safe, coast-to-coast flight in a state-of-the-art plane designed by aerospace engineer Joe Larimore. And our outstanding football team won't soon be forgotten either. Leighton, I'm talking about you. Roll Tide, man. Roll Tide. Yes, Gilbert will be here for a long time, at least until the foundations of this building are shaken loose by one of Franzen's ground-shattering sneezes. Or proclamations that when the bell rings, you stop talking and get to work, because you need to understand these parts to this. Good times. And by the way, Mr. Martinic, every time you told me to have a wonderful day, it doubled the wonderfulness of my day. Sorry, in your language, that's the area under the curve of 1 over x squared from 1/2 to infinity? No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. We know you're perfectly capable of downloading the English language when you plug in at night. And to our newest administrator, Mr. Ronka, it's been a pleasure listening to your lunchtime performances. If it weren't for you, how would we know what a terrible singer Mr. Cruz is? But in all honesty, thank you. It is a good feeling leaving the school knowing that it's in the hands of one more person who cares deeply about the fine arts. Before I go, I suppose I'm supposed to be somewhat inspirational too. I'd like to leave you with one idea. It's cliche, but look at the people around you and consider what it is that separates you and what makes you the same. With each and every person in this room, you share more than 99.9% of your DNA. All we need to survive is water, oxygen, food, shelter, and love. Today, we are so often bullied into figuring out what it is that separates us and putting it at the forefront of our interactions. But if we allow ourselves to rise above this, we are capable of so much more. When you try to find a connection with somebody, instead of writing them off for what makes you different, they'll thank you and you'll thank yourself. Class of 22, I've known many of you for 13 years, and it fills me with awe to see all that time and effort come to fruition. This is your moment, and what follows is your opportunity to do something meaningful. I'm proud to be a part of this group, and I cannot wait to see what all of you do. Thank you.